What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a very interesting Fallout video to kind of talk about with you guys, a very interesting discussion that I want you guys to definitely get involved with in the comments, because I literally think I've just thought of something that is really interesting and kind of crazy to me that I don't really know. I've never really kind of thought about this before, but that is, was the Fallout 4's Creation Club a experiment slash a test for Fallout 76? Now, I don't just mean was it an experiment slash test as in for the atomic shop or skins and all that type of stuff. I'm literally talking about so much other stuff. Now, obviously, kind of the Creation Club, I think, is just, yeah, it's a massive experiment for Fallout 76, but it wasn't just because of, obviously, you know, the atomic shop. There are other factors that I think have gone into it too. For example, Bethesda kind of just went out and said they are going to be looking to expand the map and will be looking to go elsewhere besides Appalachia. This has kind of gotten a lot of people thinking about, well, hold on, could they be returning to the Capital Wasteland, and could Fallout 3's Capital Wasteland map be getting remastered into Fallout 76? A lot of people have obviously been talking about that, and it got me thinking, well, hold on a second, didn't Bethesda just actually remaster a little bit of the Capital Wasteland? And yes, they did. For those of you who haven't seen it, Bethesda recently, like a couple months ago, released this thing on the Creation Club on Fallout 4 of this kind of Capital Wasteland quest where you got to go to the Capital Wasteland and go to GNR Plaza, and they kind of redid a very small portion of the map and put it into Fallout 4. Now, why I think this is so interesting is because, yes, Bethesda have just kind of confirmed now they will be looking in the future to go elsewhere outside of Appalachia into Fallout 76, and a lot of people have been, talking about, well, hold on, they could go to the Capital Wasteland here. Well, it kind of makes me think now, was the Capital Wasteland being remastered on the updated engine for Bethesda? Were they, remastering it on the updated engine? Was that kind of an experiment for what could be coming with Fallout 76? Like, think about it like this. Bethesda aren't just gonna, remaster a little bit of the Fallout 3 map or something like that and put it out there for not put it out there or anything like that. Their intentions were to make money and then put it on the Creation Club, but obviously it could have a little bit more meaning from that. Yes, they probably just would have made a decent amount of money because they just remastered a, fan favorite part of the Capital Wasteland and put it on the Fallout 4 Creation Club. But obviously it's kind of got me thinking now, well, yeah, hold on. Yeah, they made a bit of money from it, but ultimately that might have not actually been the end goal. The end goal could have actually been to see what if they could actually remaster a certain part of Fallout 3, and then that could potentially lead them actually remastering the whole, the whole map. Obviously, yes, the Fallout 76 graphics are a little bit different to Fallout 4, but let's be honest here, they are pretty similar in a way. I believe they run on the exact same updated engine of the Creation engine by Bethesda. So yeah, it's pretty much the exact same engine with maybe a couple tweaks here and there. If they were able to remaster that little amount of map with a small team for the in the Creation Club for Fallout 4, imagine what they could do with a big team for the big team that's currently working on Fallout 76 right now. Obviously, yes, Bethesda still want to get Starfield and the Elder Scrolls 6 out, but with how successful Fallout 76 was with Wastelanders and all that type of stuff, if they want to actually go elsewhere in elsewhere besides Appalachia, what they could actually be doing is one team is working on a new story quest for Fallout 76, for example, maybe bring back the Brotherhood, which is what we've kind of been hearing about, while the other team is maybe working on, what other team slash other studio in the United States. That other studio, whichever one it could be, could actually be working on the Capital Wasteland for maybe a year, and in that year, maybe they could have got 50% of it done or something like that. Then the other team could combine on it, they would get the map done in a little bit, and obviously they would start the story and quest for that. And then imagine if they brought Fallout 3 Remastered to Fallout 76. A massive new story quest that they've been working over a year to two on, that you could go from Appalachia to the capital Wasteland. That would sell heaps. That would give them so much more money to be working on more Fallout 76 project, expanding their team, and then obviously more money for funding on potentially the Elder Scrolls 6, because I would imagine in a year or two that Starfield will most likely be out by then. So yeah, they'll have more funding for the Elder Scrolls 6 to put some finishing touches on that, and whatever game they would want to work on next, which could be more Fallout 76 DLC obviously, and then, you know, Starfield DLC, Starfield 2, and then the Elder Scrolls 6 DLC. There is so much potential of funding they could get from obviously doing that. And yeah, Fallout 76 Wastelanders DLC was extremely successful. Imagine if they brought the capital Wasteland and Fallout 3 back to it. That would be a very, very big thing. And, you know, I'm hoping that I've kind of got you guys' minds kind of working now, pretty much asking yourself, well, hold on, was the end goal actually for Bethesda to make money from the capital Wasteland GNR Plaza remaster, or was the end goal actually to maybe see if they could work on remastering it for Fallout 76, and how would that go? That's just what I've kind of come across now, because I think remastering that tiny little part of the map will have just given Bethesda heaps of confidence to see what they could potentially do for Fallout 76. Now, obviously, I'm not too sure. I think going to the capital Wasteland would be extremely awesome, but I kind of would rather that in a remaster than have it be put in Fallout 76. To be completely honest, in Fallout 76, I would rather them go to other close areas that we have never seen before. Obviously, for those of you who didn't know, Fallout 76 takes place in West Virginia. There are a couple places around West Virginia. Obviously, Washington, D.C. is relatively close, but we've been to Washington, D.C., and I would kind of like them to do that for a remaster, I would say, but if not, it would be still cool. Some places I would really like to see them potentially decide to go and explore outside of West Virginia. There are a couple of really close places. Obviously, yes, I just talked about Washington, D.C., but we've already had Fallout 3 kind of go there. It would be extremely cool if maybe they could go to Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania. Obviously, there is quite a bit of Pennsylvania lore to do in Fallout. We obviously know, I believe, when you actually start playing Fallout 4, the guy on the TV was actually talking about Pittsburgh, or was it just Pennsylvania or something like that, I do believe. So yeah, obviously Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania are extremely close. Then you got Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati in Ohio, which are also extremely close to West Virginia. Obviously, I'm a massive Cleveland Cavaliers and Cleveland Browns fan, for those of you who didn't know, so it'd be really cool if maybe they could kind of explore with that. Then obviously we've got Kentucky, which is right next to West Virginia. We've got Virginia, which is right next to West Virginia, and then North Carolina is kind of close too. But I would presume if they were going to expand the map, which wasn't to DC, the closest places that they would probably want to explore are Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Virginia. Those are the three main ones, and obviously Maryland they could kind of go into as well, but then that's kind of getting into that Washington DC type of area that we've already seen really explored in in the Fallout franchise. So I'm not exactly too sure, but if, of course, a Fallout 3 remastered Capital Wasteland map would be extremely awesome to see in Fallout 76, but I just would kind of prefer maybe we saw some stuff with Ohio or Pennsylvania or Virginia. There's been people talking about for quite a while now. It would be kind of cool to get a Midwest Fallout, which kind of took place in, potentially Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan, because they're, a couple big states right there that they could really go into a massive Fallout map. But yeah, some elsewhere places around they could potentially explore as well would be New York, which would kind of be cool, but again is a bit far away from West Virginia. But yeah, those are a couple things that would be extremely cool. Now, the other way that I think the Creation Club is kind of an experiment for Fallout 76 as well is kind of the pet situation. For those of you who didn't know, they actually added a bunch of dogs into the Creation Club, which they sold for like 200 creation points each. they sold them. They did actually really well with them, I do believe. A lot of dog breeds were in the game. And then now for Fallout 76, they've kind of got all these companion and settlers kind of done in the new game engine around the camp system and all that type of stuff. And it's kind of been confirmed now that dogs will be coming into Fallout 76. Now, again, it's going to be really easy for them to add these dogs into Fallout 76 because they've already created the textures, the skins, the sound effects, the commands, really, literally everything for the dogs they have converted. And because we know that a lot of stuff from Fallout 4 has been carried over to Fallout 76, I think it'd be really easy for them to kind of put these dogs and pets into Fallout 4 as these kind of companions and all of that type of stuff. So again, those are two massive things that the Creation Club has really been a massive experiment for Fallout 76, and I can't wait to, see these things be used. I'm just extremely excited on where they're going to potentially take the map further in Fallout 76. Obviously, it is confirmed that Bethesda will be looking to expand the map from West Virginia eventually. Whether that's, in a year or so we get that, or a couple years, I'm not exactly too sure, but, as I'm a massive Cleveland fan, it would be kind of cool to see them expand to Ohio, but I have a big feeling that they will look to potentially expand to Pennsylvania or Washington, D.C. yet again. Those are like my two bets, and then obviously Virginia and Ohio would be, I'd say they'd be, two other places that will be right up there on places they could be potentially expanding from Fallout 76, but also just seeing some lore. Now that we've seen all these settlers come in from different places, they haven't really talked about too much in Wasteland is on where are these settlers actually coming from. Yes, we know they used to live, most of them used to live in Virginia, like the Raiders especially, but where did they move to? Did they move to Ohio? Did they move to Virginia? Did they move to Pennsylvania? Did they go to Washington, D.C.? We want to see more lore. We want to know all that type of stuff. If we can't go to Ohio, I would at least like to see maybe some settlers talk about how their time was in Cleveland or Columbus or Cincinnati, wherever it may be. I would like to see, some lore on how Cleveland is currently doing after everything has all happened, or how are people doing in Washington, D.C. or Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh, all those type of places. Again, I definitely would really like to see all of this lore and all this type of stuff come to the game. But yeah, I definitely really like to hear your thoughts and opinions on what do you guys think about Bethesda expanding the map eventually. What do you guys think is going to happen with all of that type of stuff? Definitely let me know. And where do you guys think they're going to take Fallout 76 next? Again, I'd definitely really like to know. Is it going to be Washington, D.C., Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, maybe even New York? Again, I'd definitely really like to know your thoughts and opinions on it all down below. But as I was saying, thank you guys for watching. Also, don't forget to comment what are your thoughts and opinions on how the Creation Club has kind of affected Fallout 76 and been a big experiment for it. I'd definitely really like to know your thoughts and opinions on it all down below. So yeah, as I was saying, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.